Everything you see that's happening around the world, everything that you see that is happening here, you will learn this from seerah. But because we don't know the seerah, everyone is confused and no one knows what's happening anymore. The seerah is important to every single one of you. Why? Because this is a clear dalil from Allah that His biography, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, is a manuscript for every single one of you. That any one of you that chooses to follow this man, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what happened to him will happen to you whether you like it or not. That's why the seerah is there. That's why his seerah is passed on. Not for entertainment, not so we can sit there and teach the kids, mashallah, and then the Prophet of Allah went to Medina. Everyone thinks, you know, him going to Medina was this nice, very rosy, him and Abu Bakr holding hands all the way. What's the purpose of us knowing that he was exiled from his land and he was sent to Medina? What's the purpose? What's the relation with me? You know what that means? That it doesn't matter where you live in this world. If you choose to follow Deen, there will come a time, yes, even in Copenhagen, there will come a time where you will be forced to leave this place, whether you like it or not. None of you are better than Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. None of you understood Deen more than him. None of you has better adab, better akhlaq, better relationship. Yet Allah forced him to leave. What makes you think there's not coming a time where you will have to leave this place? No, people tell me, no brother, if we just stay quiet, if you know, it's just a storm, we're waiting for the storm to blow over. If everyone just shuts his mouth and everyone does his work and everyone prays his salah, we will be fine. You miskeen, you have no idea of seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why you think like this, that's why you act like this. The best habit to Allah was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The best ummah to ever walk the earth were the Sahaba. Yet they were forced to leave their homelands. They were forced to move their homelands. Why? Please, my brothers in the back, if we can move forward. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Khalas, akhi, malash. Please, everyone in the back, please move forward. Why is the seerah important? Why? Because it's a guideline for any person. If you choose Allah and His Prophet, if you choose to follow Deen, then understand fully that what happened to him will happen to you whether you like it or not. Doesn't change. Doesn't change. People told me, look at the world that we live in. We're supposed to be living in the West, democracy and freedom of speech. Wallahi, this applies to everyone except the Muslim. Not new. In Mecca, everything happened in Mecca. Don't think we live today in democracy. Mecca had more democracy 1400 years ago than the world has ever seen since. Everything and anyone was allowed in Mecca. Jews, Christians, everything was allowed in Mecca. Pagans, atheists, everything was there and everything was welcomed and they all lived in peace and harmony. They all lived in peace and harmony. Until one man decided to say La ilaha illallah, then all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. Why? Why? Laws will change. Wallahi, they will implement laws that goes against Constitution. Now, this Donald Trump, he's trying to say that, you know, he will impose laws that goes against the very Constitution of the country. Wallahi, it will pass and the people will love it and it will be accepted so long as it's against the Muslims and not against anyone else. You think this is new? Do you think this is new? For the Meccans, any person coming into their land was a guest, and it was a sunnah for the Arab, not Muslims. It was a sunnah for the Arab that anyone that enters their country, he is your guest, you are to honor him and protect him. Yet when it came to exiling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they all stood together united at this. Why is this important? No one talks about this part of the seerah, eh? Why is this important? So long as you choose to follow Deen, so long as you choose to follow the Sunnah, then wait for everything that happened to him. By Allah, it's coming to you whether you like it or not. That's Deen. And there will come times of compromise. There will come times where they will try to compromise with you. That, hey, we don't have a problem. You want a masjid? We'll give you a masjid. You want to pray? Pray. You want to fast? Fast. Just don't bring your Islam outside onto the streets. Do you think this is new? You think this is new? Obviously, because we don't know Sirah. No, this is not new. They presented your Prophet with the same thing. They said to him, Ya Muhammad, we will worship your Lord for one day, and you worship our Lord for one day. No. But Ya Muhammad, we will worship your Allah for 1 week. You worship our gods for 1 day. No. We will worship your Allah for 1 year, Ya Muhammad. We will worship Allah for 1 year. All that we ask, Ya Muhammad, bring peace, but khalas, enough fighting, Ya Muhammad. How much more do you want, Ya Muhammad? Please, Ya Muhammad. We will worship Allah for 1 year. You just worship our gods for 1 day. No. Ya Muhammad, what do you want? You want money? By Allah will make you the richest man in Mecca. No. You want women, Ya Muhammad? Do you want women? Is this why you're doing all this? You want women? We will choose the prettiest, the most beautiful of women, and we will marry them all to you. No. Work with us, Ya Muhammad, work. We've given you every option. Look at the strategy. This man doesn't want peace. This man doesn't want to live. Look, we gave him every option and he refused. And his uncle said to him, please, Ya Ibn Akhi, please. Oh my nephew, khalas ba, enough. These people, they're trying to work with you, Ya Muhammad. Come up with something. He says to him, oh my uncle, if they gave me the sun in one hand and they gave me the moon in the other, I would never ever leave this path. It's not up to me. This is not an option. This is not a luxury that I have. Today, how many Muslims, because of his job, he's happy to shave his beard and tell me, well brother, we have to work with people. How many brothers who his wife, he really wants his wife to wear niqab. In his heart, he knows that he's... But brother, these people don't understand. Go. When you start selling your deen for something very small, what is left of you? Why is Sirah important? Why entertainment? So I can tell you what day he was born and what day he died and what day he got married. You think this is why we study Sirah? But to understand from Sirah that Allahu Akbar, if Allah did this to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, no one, you cannot escape it. My beloved brothers, let me tell you very clearly. By no means am I imposing that we become angry and hateful people and that we're here to fight the world. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He spoke about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, He said what? He said, we have sent you as a rahmah lil alameen, Ya Muhammad. We sent you. I'm not telling you what the mashayikh think of Rasulullah. Allah testifies in Quran that we sent you, O Muhammad, as a rahmah for humanity. Yet even he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, look at his life. Look at his life. Why do you think that you will be treated any better than how he was treated, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Why have the Muslims become so foolish into thinking that, no, I'm going to do a better job than him? That's his sunnah. I remember me, I'm going to tell you about myself. I remember when I was young and clean shaven and I had spikes in my hair and gel in my hair. Everywhere I went, everyone loved me. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was in Mecca, what was he known as? As-Sadiq al-Amin. Everyone loved Rasulullah, the Muslim. Everyone loved it, the non-Muslim. He was As-Sadiq al-Amin, the most loved young boy in Mecca. I remember when I was young, everywhere I went, Ahlan wa sahlan bi Muhammad, Ahlan wa sahlan. Wallahi, I had lots of non-Muslim friends and we used to go to clubs and have fun. And yes, we are exactly the same and let's just all get along and everything was fine. Everyone loved me. But as soon as I started growing a little beard, as soon as I started to look a little bit different to the next man, what happened to Muhammad? What happened to him? Who's he hanging out with? Allahu Akbar. What happened? Last week I was with you in the club. Last week I was with you in the office. Last week we were best friends. What's the problem? Why? Because now I grow a little bit. Is this what's stressing you out? Is this what's stressing you out? How many young boys come to me and they tell me, Akhi, when I used to go to the clubs for 3 days, not come home for 3 days. My mum and dad, when I come back, ahlan wa sahlan bi ibni. Now because I grow my little beard and I go to the masjid, I come home a little bit late. Where are you? What's happening? What is this? Who are you? Allahu Akbar, this is not new. Look at your Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You will find the exact same thing there. You could be the most loved, but as soon as you show any sign of deen, any sign of, hang on, I challenge the status quo, I choose Allah and His Prophet, the whole world will come to fight you. Where do you find your comfort? In Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do they attack your women outside in the street? Are they attacking your women? Know that the women of the Sahaba were also attacked. They accused the mother of believers, Aisha, they accused her of zina in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You are not any special, your wife is not any better. People tell me, Akhi, it's very hard to find genuine halal meat. Very difficult in this country. Let me tell you, my brother, your Habib, for 3 years they were boycotted. You're complaining because you can't find kifta and shawarma and I don't know what. Your Habib, for 3 years, 3 years there was nothing to eat. The Sahaba had to eat the leaves from the trees. They said, excuse me, they said our droppings became like the droppings of animals. For 3 years. That's the price for deen. That's the price for deen. No one wants to pay the price anymore. Everyone wants to go to Jannah, but nobody wants to buy. Everyone wants Islam to spread, but not at my expense. I'm busy, akhi, I'm working. Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is a step-by-step guide to any single person that wants to follow deen. You want to become a better Muslim? There's no escaping. What happened to him will happen to you one way or another. That's why the seerah is important to us. That's why we need to start studying the seerah. Not in point form. I don't want you to study seerah so you can tell me what day he was born and what day he died and what day he did his migration. To me that doesn't matter to me. But we study the seerah. We teach it to our children. We teach it to ourselves. Why? To have a better understanding. What happened to him will happen to you if you choose his path. I hope I have made this clear. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who learn and follow the seerah to the absolute T. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء والأموات. We ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide every single human being onto the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give victory to the Muslims wherever they are, wherever they're fighting, struggling, hungry, in need. Ya Allah, be with them, help them, shade them, shelter them, clothe them, feed them. Ya Allah, give them victory, give us victory. Ya Allah, unite their hearts and unite our hearts. Ya Allah, guide every single human being. Ya Allah, guide every single soul on the face of this planet to the deen, to your Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa nusalli ala al-Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.